Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So it is Moon Day, but actually it was Moon Day yesterday because Moon Day is the celebrating of the first landing on the moon, which was July 20th, 1969, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped on the moon and they called it Tranquility Base. So I somehow I put it on our calendar for today. So I wanted to show you my out of this world quilt. Couldn't think of the name of it. It's called Out of This World. It was a block of the month I did for another company that they contracted me to do this block of the month, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm thinking someday we should do this again as a block a week. I think that would be a really fun reboot of this one for us to do as a block Wednesday, maybe next summer. So here it is, Out of This World. And it just was such an enjoyable project to do. This one was done with some art gallery fabric. And first let me just show you the backing, because I got the feature fabric for the backing of it. So much fun. It had these delightful little moons. So we did this a couple years ago. I can't remember what year. And I'll link you to the patterns. They're free. They're still out there at freequiltpatterns.com, but I'll link you over to it. But I think I want to reboot this. If you like the idea, let me hold it up again while I'm talking. If you like the idea of doing this as one of our block Wednesdays, let me know. Let me know if you think that would be fun. It was a really, really cool quilt to do. And I'm glad I still have it, because I actually thought I gave it to my great nephews. I have a niece who has 3 little boys, and I sent them a bunch of quilts, and I was thinking I sent them this one. And then the other day when I was sorting some quilts, there it was. And I was like, oh, I guess I decided to keep it for a while. Look at the sun and the moon and the star quilting. Can you see that? Look at that. It's just, I love it. So I'm glad I have it for a while. So if you think it's a fun one to reboot, I would definitely make it again in some other colorway. I think that would be really cool. Maybe, I don't know what I would do, but it was fun to do that one. And if you made that one, show it. Also today, show any kind of moon or space quilts that you have, anything with a space theme. There's so much great space fabric out there. Over all the years I've been quilting, there's been space fabric. So if you've got something made up, show that today on my Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. Okay, the other thing today is Summer Memories, the basket quilt. And I was thinking, well, I'm not going to have anything to show because I was waiting on the border, but ding dong, guess what came? The border came in the mail. So I'm very excited. Now there's so much, I could take this stuff down there and I could have sequenced this different, couldn't I? But I could take that down, or I could put this on the floor in the living room and show you it's next to the quilt top. So I think I'm going to go lay it down there and take the other camera. So I'll meet you over there. So I've laid it down here in the living room, and you can see the whole top is done, and I have all the sashings, and then there's the light blue border. Look at this. Look at that. So that is perfect. Right now I have it auditioning what you're seeing there. I'm trying to cut off the rug on the screen. What you're seeing there is about a 6-inch wide border, and I don't know, I might make it even just a little bit wider. I'm thinking about that. I might make it 8 inches. Just some, I can always trim it down if I decide I wanted it a little bit smaller after it's quilted. So it is looking so good. And while we're here, I just wanted to show you that my book is back in print. Tantalizing Table Toppers is back in print. So excited, so happy for C&T Publishing to now be publishing it. So you can see here, C&T. And this braided runner is in the book. There you go. So I'll bring this back and meet you back in the studio. So do you think this is just perfect? I do. I am really, really happy that I thought of getting the light blue and then went ahead and found it, because that just makes it for me. makes it because I wanted it to feel girly, wanted a floral for the border. Okay, so that I think I'm going to miter the borders, and like I said, I think I'm going to try an 8-inch border, just make a nice wide border on it, and then I'll show you in the next few days when I get to that and put it on. Okay, so a few other things. Our winner for the t-shirt and the book that was donated is Diane, or was Diane. So Diane has already been emailed. We emailed back. It's already shipped to her, and she answered the question by saying my favorite Christmas quilt is a 9-patch Christmas scrap that she made several years ago. So that was really fun to be able to send those things out. And speaking of that, the prior prize that went out, the giveaway that went out to Patty in Ohio, she sent me a pretty little card. So she sent a thank you card. This was for the AccuQuilt die that our ambassador Kathy donated, of the gnome die. And so she sent a thank you card. I appreciate that. Okay, what do we have? I also have 2 other things that came in the mail that I want to show you. Then we're going to do the Sew Sampler box. And then we'll end with the critters. We'll have critter talk. Critters, those critters. So this one is from Joni in Illinois, and she sent me something she said that she got recently and has been obsessed with. And it is a little vacuum cleaner for your desktop. So let me just show you this. I've already had it out and used it. It's so cute. And it works fabulous. So here we go. So here it is. And it's not like a Roomba. It doesn't go on its own. But when you see, it's got like a scrap over there. Whoops, let me just put some. What? I have no scraps. I have no threads. Oh, Greg emptied the trash. Can you believe that? He emptied the trash. So we'll have to pretend. But you just go along and it sucks up everything. But the neat part is that it has a little attachment so that you can pull up things like, for me, like down in some of the crevices, you know, like over here, there's a crevice here. This is really good. And I'm thinking I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it to see if I can get some of the sort of fuzz out, just right out of the top of the sewing machine. So and look at the color. Look how pretty this is. So I will link you to this in the description box below. So the bottom pops off where you will clean out the threads that are in there that I've already accumulated. See? These threads that have already been in there. Here, we can just put them back down. Why didn't I think about that? You know? It's got a little filter you have to clean. There we go. See? Suck those right up. All gone. This is so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we can all be neat and tidy. Okay, and the other thing that came was from Fran. Fran in Pennsylvania. So Fran in Pennsylvania, she sent me a note, and she made this cute little cardinal mug rug. Look how sweet that is. We have cardinals, Fran. We have lots of cardinals here, and they're the one lives, like, there's always seems to be a nest and family of them right off my deck, which is so awesome. She also sent this great shopping bag. Look at this. This is awesome. I walk to the grocery store. Well, Greg and I walk often together and pick things up because we just sort of, you know, like we act like we live right in the city, so we just go and get what we need for the day, for the next day. So this is fabulous. And she found me a bunny, a Peeps bunny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to pull him out of here because I haven't pulled him out of here yet, but I have to get him out so we can see the full effect of the Peeps bunny. Oh, it's stuck on here. It's got a little sticker so he wouldn't come out on his own. Don't want that. There. Look how cute he is. And he can go with the gumi over there. There, see the gumi, the yellow gumi? Look how cute that is. Greg was thrilled with the Peeps. So he'll probably be eating those right away. Thank you, Fran. Mwah. So I wanted to show you the Sew Sampler box because so first let me just make some space here. I totally zoned out on the Sew Sampler box when the reveal was. I thought I looked, I had on the calendar, and then I thought I looked and it hadn't been announced, but actually it had been announced on the 30th of June. So I am way late. I finally wrote them and said, can I share this now? And they're like, yeah, we shared it on the 30th. We're going to try for the 30th, they said, every month. So it's like, okay, well, that's good. That is good to know. So let's take a look inside. And then I have the pressed flowers too that I'm making. That's what's peeking over here. Okay, so life is good in June. Excellent. We're out of June, Pat, but you know. And then there was a 25% off Fat 8 bundles. That's an awful good coupon. Wow. And for those of you who have the box, or I don't know if there's any of these available. I think there are. That's good until the end of August 20th. So you can still buy single boxes and get that. There's always great stuff. There's a little card that tells us everything is in here, but I generally like to just look first. So Schmetz needles, absolutely 100% the best needles. Do not buy anything else. These are awesome. Awesome. Creative grids, we got a little 4.5-inch ruler. That's super fun. Love that size. And what is this? Okay, so we got from Gudrun's. Okay, so Gudrun has a set of clips with sizes and things, letters, sizes, so that you can stick it on the clip, I guess. Looks like it. You can stick those things on the clip and then have like the number, size of whatever you're working for. She has a couple other sort of marking tools like this. They're all very good. Really, really good. Now, iron clean, the easiest way to clean your iron. Oh, okay, so like it's a cloth. So cleaning cloths, for your iron. That's cool. Haven't seen those. Nice. And then fabric. So this is Sunnyside, a fabric line called Sunnyside by Camille Roth-Kelly. And let's look. Let's look. And then there's always a pattern exclusive to the Sew Sampler box. So there's a beautiful big roses. Look at that. Look at that. Let me just move them. The roses, and then a smaller scale roses, a light blue, and then a light green, very summery. These feel very summery. It's a pretty sort of a X, like a grid, little flowers in that pretty green, rose, little darker rose. Oh, Papa Orange. Love the Papa Orange with pink, and then a burgundy. Ooh, and then here is the pattern that came, is exclusive to the box, which uses these plus some extra fabric that you would get to do the setting, the background and the setting of the blocks. That's really nice. That is a really neat pattern. And then here's the pressed flowers pattern for this month, and I'm doing these with my sleepover fabric. So the Fat Quarter Shop gave examples of all different colors, kinds of fabrics made up in the pressed flowers, and so here is the sleepover. These are going to be so cool. Okay, let me show you the other two. There we go. There's all three. Look at them. These are just such awesome blocks, and this is an exclusive to each box, because you can buy if you're a subscriber, you get this in each box. But if you're not a subscriber and you're picking them up one at a time, they still come in the box, so you'll still get it. So cool. I will put a picture of these on my website today so that you can take a look at them. All right, so I did a little critter stuff. I did some close-ups because I'm looking at getting Nessie, getting the area with, we've got the shark, and the long Nessie. So here she is. This is a free pattern too, so go on the critter page, which I have linked, and you can download this for free. But what I did is I want to put some half square triangles across that. So I did some close-ups. Let's take a look at that. In order to see if what I have will work in this space, I have a bunch of half square triangles and those two other funky sections. So I'm just making a duplicate piece. Then I want to make a square 3 by 3 so that I have it to work with. And then I need to scroll in here. There we go.
so I can work. So this is like the half square triangle, or there's other pieces, and there's 8 of them total. So I've got 1, 2, so I want to put them 2, 4, and 6, and 8. So I'm locking them together. So that's the 8 that I have. And this is the length that I need. So that is 39 and a half. So, you know, it's kind of funky. And this is 24. So I need about a 5-inch piece on either end. Whoop, I can do this a couple ways. So I can just grab a piece here and make it 5 inches wide. No, that's not right. So I didn't do the math right in my head. So instead we will just put it here and see, we'll just stretch it out, see what it comes to. And they're not going to be equal. No, they're not. They're just a little bit unequal. So I'm going to just adjust it because I just don't feel like getting out my calculator. So I need to adjust it by about 1/4 of an inch more and shove them over. And this is the beauty of computers. I don't have little pieces of paper I'm trying to figure this out on. You can do this by math too on a grid. So there we go. So it ended up at 7 inches and 1/4, and then I have to add a 1/2 inch, so it'd be 7 3/4 of this on either end. Now I could make another set of half square triangles. So I could do this and make another set of half square triangles to go on either end, and then the piece would have to be a little bit smaller. And then I could even go further and do another half square triangle, right? And then this could come down to only needing like a 1 3/4 piece on the end. So that would be making 4 more half square triangles or some other shapes, I think. Is that right? So it looks like, oh yeah, I already did one over there. So that's why I have to just do one more there. So if I want to do it like this, then I would try to even out those two, because you can see they're not the same size down on the end. So anyways, that's a little messing around with this long length that is above Nessie, because that's very long. I just don't want one piece of fabric in there unless it was something really spectacular. And I think I would like to just use up those half square triangles, but I think I will go ahead and make a couple more so that it's mostly half square triangles across there, which will fill in that space perfectly. So, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
So I have a plan now for what goes above Nessie here, which is a long stretch. So I've taken the parts. Here are the half square triangles. Here are these two, I trimmed down these little extra parts from some project to be the right size. Then I did the two ends in the same, but in between I will do these half square triangles facing one way, facing the other, so that you have a peak in the middle, which will be the middle of the block. But I need to make 6 more of these to go that whole length of Nessie, because she is quite a long block. So I have this fabric I've saved and used here and there. It's perfect, right? The umbrellas. And so I'm going to do 2 umbrellas, and then one of our friends sent this, little piggies. So those are the right color. They've got little piggies for the critters, so that's so cute. And then I've got these 4 patches that were in the parts center, and I'm pretty sure they are going to go right here, right above the parrot and the lemur. I think that's where they'll go. They'll fit in there. I'll need a little strip above, either above or below them, probably above them. They'll probably rest on top of these guys. So that is where these will go. And so I'm just going to sew them up at some point here while I'm working on the other things, so that I have them sewn together and I don't and I wrote a note on there, 4 patch, so I don't sort of lose track of what's going on with that. All right, let's come in together for this next section. So here is where I ended up. I did the half square triangles, and they're actually out to the far right hand side. There'll be a wide strip, and I pulled a bunch of different fabrics to audition for that. And so I'll continue on this with tomorrow's video, working on the shark and the Nessie and getting that whole bottom section. But I got this far for this video, so I think that looks really good. I'm not sure if that'll be the fabric, but it gives you an idea of where it's at with the half square triangles above it. So there you go. All right, my friend. A lot of fun things all spinning around the studio today. And don't forget to pick up a Sew Sampler box, and you can do one of these pressed flowers too. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.